Let's roll it.
It's time to buy, sell,
How about a damn 12 and a half, 15?
and hold.
Okay, John, 3 questions on a Friday. What do you got for me on buy, sell, hold?
Buy, sell, or hold. The University of Kansas should fire Professor Lowcock.
God, the jokes just write themselves, don't they? Unreal. Can you believe this guy's name is Lowcock? Mark becomes a 5th grader when this stuff happens.
Every time we talk about it the last 2 days.
Every
Ray
time.
says it, every time you say it.
Every time Smallcock gets back into the equation here, Mark just can't help
Lowcock.
himself. Sorry, was that me? Did I make that mistake again? Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm buying that. Listen, I don't like canceling people, but you can't have a professor say what this guy said in front of students.
Guys are smarter than girls. You got some serious problems. That's what frustrates me. There are going to be some males in our society that will refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president. We could line all those guys up and shoot them.
That is not somebody who has any business being near impressionable young adults on, in part, the taxpayer dole as a professor at KU. None whatsoever. And if he said something like that here in the last couple of weeks, you know he's been saying stuff along those lines for a long time. You don't go from being apolitical to suddenly being like, yeah, if you're not going to vote for a woman, line them up and shoot them. That's insane. I'm buying it, John.
There you go. I wondered how long he'd been setting on that thought. What is it, a very 1940s kind of thing to say?
Yeah,
seemingly.
It is.
All right, buy, sell, or hold. Kamala Harris can close the gap with male voters.
Sell. There's just no way. I mean, they're not even pitching it in the right way. They're so desperate to try to get men to vote for them. They're putting ads like this on TikTok, which are just cringeworthy embarrassments. Let's roll it.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Meat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies?
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually.
Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful.
That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have
stop, Pete.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
Can you believe that? How cringe. I cringed watching that probably half a dozen times.
It's freaking asinine in this world with toxic masculinity. Well, what did you just throw at me? I'm going down to HR after this show, dude.
I know.
You got too much toxic masculinity. Now that they can tell the difference.
Yeah, well, that's a great point as well.
Between a man and a woman.
Thank you for that, John. You're right. Kamala's losing men by a historic margin. So let's make the most cringeworthy ad of guys insisting they're man enough to vote for Kamala. Listen, I saw it, so I had to make you suffer through it as well. I don't know what else to tell you. But those are the kind of ads they're running on TikTok to try to persuade young men to vote for Kamala Harris. It's like they've actually never met a red-blooded American dude before when you watch that ad.
The philosophical shift is asinine.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the philosophical something else. All right, what's
for
next?
One more? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Buy, sell, or hold. Mark's weekly parlay for the football games. Got
All
some
right.
college and NFL, I think, this time, right, Mark?
What do you got for me, Mark?
I've got 7 teams that need to win for college football Saturday.
7 teams, okay.
10
Because
to
there's
win.
no Chiefs game.
No Chiefs game.
Okay.
10 to win $150.
10 to win $150. Are you doing spreads here or just money line?
Straight up money line.
All right,
I'll do the
straight
spreads
up.
on my show tomorrow morning.
Okay.
College Pick'em program.
7 a.m. Go.
That's right. Have Tennessee beating Florida. Penn State beating USC.
Mm-hmm.
Texas beating Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa over Washington. Iowa State over West Virginia. BYU over Arizona. And Kansas State over Colorado.
Sell. Sorry, Mark. I mean, there's too much that's got to happen here. So Tennessee beating Florida, fine, no issue there. Penn State over USC. That game's at Penn State, right?
It's at USC.
Oh, never mind then. I don't feel great about that. Now listen, Lincoln Riley is way overrated as a head coach.
Yeah.
But still, that's Penn State traveling 3 time zones. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Texas over OU. Yeah, feel good about that. They're 15-point favorites. Iowa over who?
Washington. Washington's making the trip to Iowa
Can
City.
you believe that's a Big Ten game? What are we doing in college football? I don't mind it. But these Big 12 games, these are dicey, man. The Big 12's been crazy.
It's tough this year.
Iowa State's an underdog in Morgantown. That's a coin flip. BYU might be the most overrated 5-0 team in America right now. I like BYU, but I've got to see more. And then K-State at Colorado. Listen.
Those are all coin flips.
They're all coin flips, and here's the other issue with that game in particular. I get the better quarterback in Shedeur Sanders at home, both teams off a bye, and K-State's not nearly as good on the road as they are at home. I saw a data point the other day. K-State is it's either 1-7 or 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 road games.
And it's a night game.
It's like, I don't know. That's a tough spot for K-State. Young quarterback. I get the better quarterback at home. I would lean Colorado there, to be honest. So
I like their offensive line, though.
I do. Although Colorado's getting better in the trenches. All right, I'm going to sell that. Sorry, Mark. I hope you win, though. Make a little money.